Welcome to An Inspired Path. I'm your host, Gail Phillip, and on this show we have conversations with guests, we share opinions on positive aging, and we attempt to provide you with as many inspirational tools as can fit in your own lifestyle toolbox. So, let's get started, shall we? For those of us who have approached or are in what we call the midlife of our journey, sometimes some people start wondering, did I do what I really set out to do in the beginning of my life? Or did I somehow maybe get lost along the way instead? Sometimes we feel like we have been so busy with this life journey of ours and all of the tasks and all of the responsibilities that we have had to take on, and not reluctantly, maybe like focusing on your occupation and making sure that you excel and do well in your job. Maybe then you got married and focused on your relationship. Maybe then you had children and focused on your children, and maybe not in that order. Or some other focus that you dedicated your life to. And then maybe all of a sudden you get to the stage where you feel you are in sort of a midlife area and you start wondering, who am I? I kind of forgot. I was so focused on my duties, my responsibilities, and my tasks, and admirably so. However, I don't really know who I am anymore. Do you know any people like that? Or maybe you're one yourself. Well, take comfort in the fact that knowing if you are one, you are far from alone. Sometimes, when we focus so much on the exterior duties and responsibilities, we actually do forget who we were born to be, or our desires, or what we really think about things, what we would really like out of life. So when we get to this point in our life, whatever age it may be, yoga says that it's not selfish to do some self-reflection, some honest self-study. We call that in yoga svadhyaya. Sometimes external desires and the want for material things can take us away from knowing what truly makes us happy. Quite often, people will strive to purchase a large home with all of the finest furniture, the most beautiful wallpaper, the most up-to-date technology in their stereo and TV, their washer, dryer, fridge, stove. Those are all really fun things. But then, after a while, as is always with the acquisition of material things, we notice that the thrill of attaining these items fades. And quite often, we need to purchase or acquire new material items to regain that excitement of having something very cool. And this happens over and over and over again in our life. Sometimes we end up with too much stuff. We accumulate too many material things, and some people even turn into what we call today pack rats. Look at these Storage Wars TV shows, or hoarders. We may laugh. However, there are quite a few people that just cannot seem to let go of material things. But they'll have to ask themselves someday, do these things actually make me happy? Why am I purchasing these things? Do they bring me inner peace? Do they bring me inner bliss? Do they bring me harmony? Are they adding beauty to my life? Meditation is a way for us all to go inside, for us all to find within ourselves the truth of who we really are. And this is not a selfish thing. Please don't see it as such. This is a way for us to find our inner truth, what actually makes us happy, what actually brings us bliss and peace. And if we are happier people, then the people we love and the people who love us will see that difference, and they will most likely be happy for us. We will be nicer people to be around. So it's far from selfish when we become a little introspective and practice svadhyaya. So let's say we begin meditation and we're learning all of the time-tested breathing techniques, what we call pranayamas. And we learn how to slow down the mind so that it's not so busy all the time, focusing on past or worrying about the future, and learning how to be more present. And all of a sudden, all of the external desires and longings and cravings start to reduce. With meditation practice, we do slowly, or maybe not so slowly if you're a fast learner, we begin to see that external things, as fun as they are, do not bring us that everlasting peace that we all crave, whether we admit it or not. Sometimes, some people feel like they got lost along the way. They forget their actual likes and dislikes because maybe they've been trying so hard to please others their whole lives. They've had to become sort of a chameleon to assimilate and to make everyone else around them happy. And that's very selfless in some ways. But in some ways, when we do that a little too much, we get lost along the way. If you feel that maybe this conversation is resonating with you a little too much, perhaps you need to take a break and get out in nature a little bit. Maybe walk along the beach. We have beautiful shorelines here in Eastern Passage and all over Nova Scotia, all over Atlantic Canada. If you don't live near a beach, you can walk along the lake shoreline. You could take a walk through the woods, take a hike in the mountains. But get back to nature and go for a walk. Bundle up so you're warm. Put your cell phone on maybe silent. Have it only for emergencies so that you can call out, but try not to receive any calls in if you can help it. Try not to bring your headphones with your favorite music. Try to experience instead walking in nature, whichever nature you choose, and listening to the sounds of nature. Sometimes our senses get so overloaded with input that it's very hard for us to hear that inner voice inside. For example, if we have a headset on listening to our favorite music when we walk, that beautiful music, as nice as it is taking you away from the beautiful sounds of nature, the natural sounds that are in the world, like the birds, or the wind, or the waves, the leaves rustling in the trees. Also, when our brain is consumed with the beautiful music that we love, sometimes it even affects our vision, what we're seeing. We could be walking along a beautiful path in the woods, and we may not even notice the beauty of the flowers, or the plants, or the sky, because we're so focused on the song we're hearing. It can even take away from what we see. It can even take away from the smells. You may be so engrossed in the radio that you're listening to, or the song, or the news podcast, whatever you've chosen. You may be so engrossed in listening to that you even miss subtle smells of nature. And these may seem unimportant, but it's quite the opposite. When you are taking your walk, try to be as immersed in the natural environment as you possibly can. So you feel the ground below your feet. You feel each and every step. You smell every single smell. Breathe deep every once in a while as you walk so that you really do enjoy these beautiful smells of nature. You hear every single sound, every rustle of leaves, every little bit of wind blowing through the trees or along the water, every bird. And as you walk, pause once in a while and just stop and take in everything you see. Maybe play a game. How many colors can I notice when I stand in this one spot? How many varieties of trees can I notice when I stand in this one spot and look around me? Looking up at the clouds. Look at the different formations of the clouds as they float by. Or the blue sky. Or if it's raining, listen to the sounds of the raindrops. Notice the temperature of the environment around you against your skin. Allow all of your senses to come alive. In this quietness, you may even notice your stomach gurgling once in a while, or your own internal sounds, like your own breathing. And do this walk by yourself so that you don't have to worry about maintaining a conversation or pleasing the other person that you're with, walking the way they want, the direction they want, the pace they want. Of course, when walking alone, make sure you're walking somewhere safe and not at night. And you may even find that after taking this time for your svadhyaya, your honest self-study, that you realize some things about yourself, some things that may have gotten lost along the way of your life's journey. Quite often, we reach conclusions to nagging questions simply by being alone and quiet and with nature and having no unnatural distractions. A new sense of freedom may emerge. You may feel lighter, more confident, happier. I'd like to play for you a song that my partner Wayne and I recorded with Ian Lure some time ago. It's called Along the Way. And as you listen to this tune, see what comes up for you.
Kicking off my shoes and walking barefoot in the wild. Got to find some peace, relocate my inner child. Listening to the breeze and feeling sunlight on my face and realizing I belong here in this place. Present in this moment, all my senses come alive. I hear the crashing waves connect with birds and walks in the sky. Moving at the smallest shell, so perfect in design and unchanged over all the course of time. My soul memories fall to my knees. How did I get so lost along the way? How did I get so lost along the way? Seems like I've awakened. There's a change I feel inside. The world is looking different, like I've nothing left to hide. I gather my new self and then continue down the road. It sure feels good. You can relax when you unload. I slowly breathe. Roll through the breeze. How did I get so lost along the way? How did I get so lost along the way? From this moment starts a brand new day. How did I get so lost? How did I get so lost? How did I get so lost along the way?
Until next time, namaste.